Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Code Ground, the battleground of coding. Today we are going to solve the LeetCode Daily Coding Challenge of October 2nd, that is water bottles 2. So first let's copy the question. Okay. Yeah. So let's read the question. The question is you are given two integers num bottles and num exchange. Okay. Num bottles represents the number of full water bottles that you initially have. Okay. In one operation, you can perform the following operations. Let's see what are those operations. Drink any number of full water bottles, turning them into empty water bottles. Okay, the first point is if you drink any full water bottle, that will be turned into empty water bottle. Okay, let's see how this empty water bottle helps. Exchange num empty bottles with one full water bottle. Okay, so there's another variable called num exchange. So if the num exchange, let's suppose if the num exchange is 2, then after drinking up the water bottles, for two empty water bottles, we can exchange, we can get a one full water bottle. Okay. Then increase num exchange by 1. Okay. In the next operation, you can't use the same num exchange. Let's understand this with an example. Note that you cannot exchange multiple batches of water bottles for the same value of num exchange. Okay. Let's see what this is. For example, if num bottles equals to 3 and num exchange equals to 1, you cannot exchange 3 empty water bottles for 3 full water bottles. Okay. Not even in the same operation you can do this. If you are having 3 empty bottles and the value of num exchange is 1, you cannot get 3 full water bottles. Okay. Uh, got it. Return the maximum number of water bottles you can drink. Okay. So so the question expects us to return the maximum number of water bottles you can drink. Okay. So let's think of an approach. What can be the approach? So for this, we should have a base case. So what must be the base case? Let us think. Yeah. So in order to have the maximum number of bottles, you have to drink the maximum number of bottles. Okay, so got it. So the base case must be this num bottles variable must be always greater than 0. Okay, let's first write it and then let's explain. Okay, num bottles greater than 0. What does this mean? If the number of bottles is equal to 0, then we cannot further perform the operations. So the number of bottles should always be greater than 0. Okay. In order to perform, we should have two variables. One is answer and one is empty. EMP equals to 0. Okay. What are these variables? This answer variables tells us how many water bottles we have drank in total. Okay. And this empty tells us about the empty water bottles. Okay, let's understand what is this answer and what is this empty. So the first step is you have to drink all the full water bottles. Okay, so to drink all the full water bottles, we should do answer plus equals to number of bottles. Okay, then empty. Now all the bottles are empty, so we have to add the num bottles. And as all the bottles are empty, now there are no full bottles. Equals to 0. Yeah. Okay. We have understood till here. Then what's next? Then we have to check for a condition. The condition is if the empty water bottles are less than the num exchange water bottles. Okay, so what does this mean? If first let us write le, le, less than num exchange, then break. We have to terminate the process. Okay, so what does this mean? If we are not having if we are not having initially only the sufficient number of bottles. Okay. If you have drank up all the bottles, let's suppose number of bottles is 4 bottles, and num exchange is 5. So for 5 empty water bottles, you are getting one full water bottle. After drinking up all the bottles, the empty bottles are only 4. The empty bottles 4 is less than 5, so we cannot get a full water bottle. So that's where the process terminates. Yeah, if empty is less than num exchange. Okay, got it. So the next step is empty minus equals to num exchange. Okay, the num exchange number of bottles are exchanged for the empty. water bottles. Okay. So what's the next step? The next step is, as mentioned in the question, we have to increase the num exchange by 1. Okay. So let's do this. Num exchange plus equals to 1. Okay. Then what else is mentioned in the question? After increasing and after exchanging, what do we see? We see that number of bottles plus equals to 1. We have got a new full water bottle. Yeah, okay. This is the process. We have to do this until the number of bottles is greater than 0. But there's a catch. If here, if number of bottles plus empty bottles is less than num exchange, then what do we do? Then break it again. Then because the process cannot continue and we cannot perform further operations. Okay. So then lastly return number of bottles plus answer. Yeah. What is this number of bottles? If at last there are very few bottles remaining which cannot be exchanged, then we can drink them also, right? So number of bottles should be added, and the number of bottles we have drank in the process. So this is how this problem should be solved. So let's go to lead code. Yeah, let's minimize. Yeah, this is the code. We are having. I have shortened the variable names num and x. Okay, so answer equals to 0 and empty equals to 0, while num greater than 0, answer plus equals to num, empty plus equals to num, and then num becomes 0. Yeah, and if empty bottles is less than exchange, break empty minus equals to x, x plus equals to 1, and num plus equals to 1. Okay, and if num plus empty bottles is less than exchange, break return answer plus num. This is what we should do. So let's see. Yeah, the cases have passed. So let's submit. Accepted. Okay, beats 100%. This is the this is one of the most optimized code we can have. So yeah, this is it for today, guys. Please, if you like my video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and share it with your friends so that they also can learn. Yeah, this is what I had to say, and happy Dasera.